All right. Good afternoon, YouTube model builders. RB Model Works coming to you from Moscow, Idaho. What is this contraption sitting in front of me? You're thinking, oh my God, has he flipped his lid? Has he lost it? No. I am still doing my old cars. This is the one I'm finishing up right now. Friend of mine sent me this 2022 Camaro to do an honest review on, and that's exactly what I'm going to do. Good, bad, indifferent. What I'm going to do, I know there's a couple review videos out there and build videos, but they're pretty well biased and not very honest. So he asked me to do this for him. So this is the rollout car, but this is a car that's actually driving on the track today. So kudos to Salvinos for getting a car or a model out. This is the same time it's on the track. One thing up here for best results, read this completely. Use tube styrene glue or styrene solvent. So they want you to use this type of glue. Let's see. This type of glue. And not this type of glue. From what I understand, their tolerances are so tight that any variance, you're pretty well screwed on fitment. Engine sand off camera. Wow, that's kind of weird. You got to sand the antenna off. Well, this is a rollout car, so I'm assuming the rollout car didn't have the camera and stuff on there. But they do have color callouts, which are right here. So that's good. That's an improvement over their last, all their other instruction sheets, which are pretty bad. Transaxle, back cage, pretty well. Straightforward. Definitely did a lot better job on these decal or instructions than they have in the past. You have to be a mind reader to put together some of their early Monte Carlos and stuff. They were just atrocious. The instructions are definitely an afterthought for this company. I like the suspension. It looks really detailed. Assemble rear suspension right side, glue shock into frame. Insert through opening into transaxle, glue in place, repeat. The arrow on the trees indicate the top of the parts. And I know through some stuff online that you have to put some pennies, I guess, underneath here to set the ride height, which is kind of weird. Seat looks really good. Nice big bulky cage around the head like they have it. ECU, the gauge pod. One thing I'm not seeing though is a dash. They did not put a dash in this. Don't know why. I know they had temporary dashes in them. The cloth that they velcroed on there, but they could have been had a little ingenuity and say, well, just because it's wasn't in the CAD files they sent me, I'm not going to do it. Good thing the CAD file showed tires on there, or we wouldn't be getting tires. Nice bumper detail. These are polished aluminum from what I've seen. The deck lid. that whole radiator assembly. Yeah, pretty all straightforward. I don't see any issues with the kit. We'll see once I start getting it built and going from there. First thing I notice is my body's warped. Not bad, but you know, nonetheless, you'd think they'd have a little better quality control. Warpage is an issue with this company, and you'll see there. Let me see if I can highlight that text there. Let me see if I can grab a pencil here. Actually, we'll just... Oh, it's hard to read, but designed by Jim Rogers. I didn't know modelers were actually signing models these days. But anyway, hey, it is what it is. That's got a little warp to it. Let's see if this bad boy fits. Fits nice and tight on the front. You can see the sides aren't very tight on there. So if you're going to glue it, you're going to have to clamp that together. Don't know why if that was supposed to sit into a little clevis back there or what. Anyway, there's the hood, the rear spoiler. Got good details on there. Kind of disappointed that these aren't cut out. But of course, they'll just tell you, hey, you're a modeler, you figure it out. No underhood bracing. Figures. And then black tree. And I gotta say one thing. When I was in the club, one of the biggest things they touted this car as is Tamiya quality. And that's their words, not mine. Tamiya quality. I guess they figured since they can inject plastic in white, gray, and black, that designates it as Tamiya quality. So far, what I'm seeing, number one, Tamiya would not have that 1/16 gap on the body. Never. They're just, they're hands down, they're light years ahead of this company. This company will never reach Tamiya quality. Wheels, those look good. Nice and clean. Let me set that over here, and some of the gray stuff. Oh, looks pretty good. Shocks, those look like almost like not shocks, but the ones with the little box on them. I forget what they're called, but anyway, manifold, the front of the engine. They're replacing this part right now because they got a bunch of short shots. This little tab on the side. That happens. But unfortunately, their quality control, they have no quality control. They're just about pushing them out. These look pretty good, except for these big, huge sink marks. Pretty typical of Salvinos. They don't care about the sink marks. They're just more concerned with getting the models out. Pretty much they say, well, that's our problem as model builders. We can handle that. So, and it's true, we do. We just fill it and move on. But Again, from a club perspective, if you're a club member, you're paying $55. $55 for this kit. You heard me correct. $55. And at $55, you're expecting in the 21st century a kit that does not have these issues. Apparently, I'm one of few that feel that way. But if you're going to do it, this is the 21st century, do it correctly. These look good. Disc brakes look good. Like the nice calipers up top, rotors. Thing about this is it kind of looks good, but the details aren't real crisp and squared off here. It's kind of like the mold is a little just smudgy. And as usual, pin marks everywhere. So far, so good. Not as bad as the charger. On the bottom of the charger frame, there's 26 pinholes you have to fill. You can see this one isn't a whole lot better, but I will give them this. They've adjusted their pressures. These will sand out real easy. No problem. But you got 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. So you got 21 pinholes on this one. But they did a really good job on all the detail on the bottom. A friend of mine showed me a picture where these were all actually separate. They did a real good job on thinning these down. So if you wanted to put carbon fiber decals on there, that wouldn't be too much of a problem. Here's the back bulkhead. This is I think radio transponder, radio stuff. This is marked red. This is not red. If you look at any of the cars, it's silver, black. It's a metallic. Some flashing. Definitely lots of mold lines to clean up. A little disappointed. I thought they'd have a little tighter control on getting these mold lines cleaned up. And all the pin marks everywhere on this. Wow. Kind of thought they would do a little better job on this. This is the back of the firewall, the front suspension. This is the back cage. This looks good. Still some, and people say, well, you build cars like this all day long that are just full of flash and mold lines. That's 50-year-old technology where they cut this stuff by hands. No CNC machines. Well, they had CNC probably. All designed by hand. It was a different time and a different era. And when I paid $25 for a kit like that, I know what I'm getting. I'm not anticipating having to rework everything. Yeah, that looks like a problem. I doubt the bar is supposed to be all bent up like that, but we can apply a little heat to that and fix it. Plenty of flash all over the cage. Just really surprised at that. I'm very, very surprised. The side panels, those look good. Again, some marks we got to clean up. And then the seat, Sorry, I'm going to kind of rush through this a little more. This is the front air box on the front. There's the pieces to the seat. Oh, wow, that's... Never seen that where it's hollow underneath. Nice. Salvinos, nice tires. I like their tires, and nice real rubber. Their glass is really nice and clear and thin. I'm not going to take the glass out of the box or out of the bag. They do have the holes in the windshield and the back window, jack bolt holes. Really good job there. And then the headers that came loose. Little addendum to the instructions. So that is what so far. So it looks good. I'll give them that. I mean, there's lots of detail to it. I like that. I'm a little surprised and disappointed in the execution of the molds. But this is what happens when you have them cut overseas. You know, we have the best machinists in the world right here in America. You know, they already talk about cost and all this. You know, if they weren't so anal about, you know, trying to make a buck, maybe they could, you know, just suck it up and have them not only made in America, but have the molds cut in America. So what we're gonna go over the decals real quick. Of course, these are these I do believe are micro scale, which I haven't never had a problem with them. I use some of their stripes and solid sheets and stuff. And then these are power slides. Everybody knows power slides. Can't go wrong with power slides. Like the rollout livery. But you can see the difference in quality between the two. And I don't know why they put this extra sheet in there. Because, yeah, it looks like all this stuff is already on this sheet and this sheet. I'll have to look and double check. But I do like the way they have it kind of angled for the side pipe, so you can, they drop down in. So, but as always, power slides, always excellent decals. And what I wanted to do, just real quick, you know, they're touting Tamiya quality. First thing you're going to notice is actually how thin their bodies are. Look at that. They're literally half as thick as Salvinos. And the first thing you'll notice if you ever build a Tamiya kit is there is no flash. Their quality control is so tight. All of their pin marks are where you can't see them. But they do have their pin marks as well. And of course, Tamiya's been doing their plastic like this for years. Top of the line, super crisp. And this is kind of what I was saying about the transaxle, is being kind of mushy. And you can see by looking at the Tamiya that everything's crisp. Everything's squared, everything's tight. And if you've ever built a Tamiya kit, you understand what I'm talking about. Mold wise, like their door handles being molded open, the vents being molded open. If Tamiya did this, those vents on the hood would be separate and they would be open. They don't do decals. What they do is they do give you sheets for Tamiya. They give you necessary screen, nuts, bolts. This is for hinging, the chrome. They're just, hands down, they're just a lot better kits. And again, you ask, well, why did I bring this up? Well, because they did. They just insisted on saying that this kit was going to be of Tamiya quality. And I've built a couple of Tamiya kits, a couple of the more simpler ones, but I've built them. And I just knew from their track record and their past, they weren't going to come close to it. So they took a look at Tamiya decals and went, oh, hey, we can do that. Well, you know what? They missed the mark on decals too. So, or instructions. Sorry, I keep calling these decals or instructions. But yeah, that's about it. So all in all, looks like a pretty good, darn good model to start with. We'll see once I get building it if there's any build issues or any more warpage issues. We've seen a little bit of warpage on the cage. But you will never hear me, unless they improve the molds and tighten up their quality control, you will never hear me, just because they're molded in color, refer to these as Tamiya quality. Well, thanks you guys. I appreciate it. I've got just a little while longer on this bad boy to do, and I am going to post this. It'll be sometime next week. Y'all have a good day. Have a great weekend. To all you dads out there, happy Father's Day. See ya.